I need the scoop.
A woman's desperate attempt to escape religious harassment spirals into a community-wide campaign of persecution that threatens her safety and career. This explosive Reddit confession reveals how standing up for basic boundaries can trigger religious extremism that divides families and destroys relationships. Get ready for a story about faith, freedom, and the devastating cost of saying no to those who refuse to hear it.
In summary, Missionaries stopped by once a week for 2 months, even though I told them to stop. They crashed a barbecue of mine, so I filed a restraining order. My family and old church members have started to guilt me, saying they're just teens doing what they traveled here to do, and it's kind of working. Am I being a pushover? I used to be, technically still am, a member of the LDS Mormon church. I've tried to get my records removed, but it's gone nowhere, and I still get members and missionaries showing up to my house, even when I moved. Well, in the past 2 months, I have been visited once a week by the same pair of missionaries, along with one of my male cousins. They can't visit a single lady unless another male is with them. I tell them each week to stop visiting and tell whichever cousin they bring that it's not welcome, necessary, or funny, and they really need to stop. Me asking them the first 5 times should have been enough. Well, they came over last Saturday while I was having a barbecue with some friends and co-workers, and they just started mingling and preaching to my guests. I didn't even realize they were there because I was on the grill, until one of my co-workers came up to me and basically complained about me inviting him to a barbecue as an excuse to get my church members to preach to him and his boyfriend. I had to apologize and explain to him the situation and promise it wasn't like that at all. I didn't even think about it at the time, but they could have gotten me fired. Luckily, he was cool about it after I explained the situation, but what if he didn't come to me and just left instead? And what about other co-workers who were just as upset but didn't say anything? There were a couple that didn't show up, but what if they did and saw the missionaries and just left? I decided I was done. They didn't even try to find me. They just harassed my guests and came into my property uninvited. So I called the police. They showed up and said they can ask them to leave, but can't really do anything else since I didn't ask them to leave myself first. So I showed them my ring footage of how I've been asking them to stop coming to my house for 2 months, and they said I could file a restraining order for stalking, but it might not go anywhere. So they walked me through the online forms, and I have a hearing soon. Since then, the church members have sent me emails. Their youth have heart-attacked my door and porch, and my LDS family have made Facebook posts about me being the literal devil. For those that asked, heart attacking is taping paper hearts with Book of Mormon and Bible quotes, and little "I miss you" notes to people's front door, windows, and porches. They taped hearts all over my front door, windows, and porch with writing on them, with Book of Mormon and Bible verses, or little notes like, "We miss you." They left a plate of sugar cookies in the shape of hearts. I have also been told that it's literally love bombing, which I never noticed before. With the hearing getting closer, I'm starting to feel nervous, and like maybe I've blown everything out of proportion. Like these missionaries are still teens, and maybe I should be redirecting my anger at my family, who are probably the ones behind it. You're right, if this had been anyone else but missionaries, I wouldn't see a problem with a restraining order. I need to rewire my brain so I stop seeing these volunteers as something special. Growing up in the church has probably given me a bias towards them. I didn't think leaving a church would be this much mental work. I'm constantly having to tell myself certain things are okay and certain things are not. Am I in the wrong if I go through with the hearing?
The Reddit community rallied behind the poster with overwhelming support, validating her right to live harassment-free regardless of religious beliefs. Armed with legal advice and moral support, she prepared for the restraining order hearing while her family's pressure intensified. 2 days before the court date, a confrontation at her front door would prove that some people view legal consequences as just another obstacle to overcome.
Hello everyone. I said that I wouldn't be logging in again, but these last 2 months have been very draining for me, and I thought writing everything down and putting my feelings out might make me feel better. So, here's an update. 2 days before the hearing, my uncle, who is also the ward bishop for the elders, showed up to my house with the missionaries. I took the advice from my previous post and only spoke with them through my Ring app. I told them if they didn't leave, I would call the police. One elder left to sit in the car, and my uncle and the other elder stayed at my door. My uncle told me that I was being dramatic and that I'm too sensitive. He said that me protecting my safe space was going to ruin a young man's life. I told them that I had put in a request for a restraining order and that they knew this and were still harassing me. My uncle said they weren't going to leave until I came out and talked to them like an adult so we could solve this restraining order issue without the courts. I told them to leave again, and I called the police when it was obvious they weren't going to. The cops showed up and trespassed my uncle and arrested the missionary that did not go to the car. I explained to them about the hearing that was going to happen and showed them my footage of them trying to get me to not go to the hearing. I felt really bad, and I still do. I know a lot of you are going to say I shouldn't, but I do. I spent the 2 days after that getting calls and texts from people I love, calling me all sorts of terrible things and telling me I'm a disappointment. The guy I've been talking to had to take my phone away from me and block everyone because he knew I wouldn't. I went to the hearing and was granted the restraining order for harassment. Then I had my mom and dad show up to my house the next day to give me a piece of their mind, and now I hate myself. So that's great. I sent the paperwork to the mission president and asked to be put on the do not contact list like a commenter told me to do. I was told that the missionary that was arrested had his visa revoked, so they are sending him back home early. I was basically told if anything happens to him before they can get him a flight home, it's my fault. People have posted about me getting innocent men into trouble and wanting my own kind deported on social media, even though he wasn't deported. His visa was just revoked. So I've had my house egged, rocks thrown at my windows, and ice bags left on my porch for the last month. Even some of my friends and co-workers who told me to go through with the restraining order are saying I went too far. But I didn't know he was here on a visa. As far as I know, he's back home and safe. But that's it. That's the update. My friends, family, and co-workers hate me, and I hate myself too. But hey, at least I'm not being minorly inconvenienced by missionaries and awkward 5-minute conversations anymore.
Sometimes protecting your peace comes at a price that tests everything you believe about justice and consequence. This ongoing battle has sparked intense debate about religious freedom versus personal boundaries, so subscribe to catch any future developments in this case. Share your thoughts on faith and harassment in the comments below, and explore our other videos for more stories about standing firm when the whole world seems against you.